Hello, my name is Sean Hopple, and I'll be briefly discussing intellectual property rights, specifically how they have changed as a result of the digital age, and I will also touch on the seedy underworld of internet-based piracy. The days of traditional copyright are almost over. Traditional copyright laws have coalesced around the idea that any use of copyrighted materials is prohibited in order to protect the originator of the material. This draconian policy began to open up in the late 20th century, during the years directly before the digital revolution, culminating with the development of fair use standards. Examples of fair use are common in education and in news reporting. Fair use outlines a legal method to use work without citing, and a key component of fair use is that the use is temporary and the user does not profit financially. The demands of society necessitated a widening of the rules, and this trend is greatly accelerated in the digital age. Part of the new copyleft movement, Creative Commons licenses give the author the ability to grant people the right to share, use, and even build upon a work that they have created. The licenses provide an author flexibility. For example, they might choose to only allow non-commercial uses of their work. And it protects the people who use or redistribute an author's work, so they don't have to worry about copyright infringement, as long as they abide by the conditions the author has specified. The main benefit of Creative Commons is that educators may use materials in class without fear of reprisal, or having to go through a lengthy and awkward process of gaining adequate permission, nor worry about the blurred lines between fair and prohibited use of materials. Creative Commons may be seen as the next step in the evolution of a new understanding of the purpose of intellectual property protection, and a sign that standing laws, even considering the development of fair use, are simply not enough to address the need to create, remix music, art, and literary ideas. Parallel to the opening of intellectual property restriction, there has been an uptick in digital piracy. The widely publicized story of millionaire Kim.com sheds light on the seedy underbelly of the intellectual property rights debate. Kim was a German technophile who made his money by enabling piracy on sites such as megaupload.com. At its height, MegaUpload had over 50 million visitors per day and accounted for 4% of all internet traffic on the planet. He is accused of costing the entertainment industry over $500 million in revenues during the years that MegaUpload was functioning. On January 5, 2012, indictments were filed in Virginia in the United States against .com and other company executives with crimes related to online piracy. 2 weeks later, Kim.com and two accomplices were arrested by the New Zealand police in an armed raid on .com's house involving 76 officers and 2 helicopters. Assets worth $17 million were seized, including 18 luxury cars, giant screen TVs, and works of art. This example shows that enforcement of traditional anti-piracy laws is still possible on a grand scale. Examples such as these are more and more rare, however, since piracy is now massively open, and identifying a guilty party is much more difficult. Good examples of this new kind of piracy are BitTorrent and the streaming link sites SolarMovie and TVLinks.eu. BitTorrent obscures the guilty party by making the file untraceable. Breaking it into kilobytes and hosting on hundreds of machines makes it so that essentially the file is hosted on all machines and no machine simultaneously. Either every single person involved is guilty or no one is. It is not logistically possible to arrest all torrent users as the number grows every day, and not all files are pirated. Since the files are not traceable, this method is considered safe for the user. SolarMovie and TVLinks.eu are streaming link redirects that employ the philosophy that as long as you are not downloading the material, someone else has violated copyright, not you. There is reasonable doubt that you arrived at this link without knowing that the material is pirated, and since you never agreed to download it, you have not broken the law. Both methods present an ethical challenge because you cannot be caught or prosecuted for participating in cyber piracy. In a world where those who engage in cyber piracy are likely to get away with it, how do you frame the debate? These are the competing values at play, and the unique challenge is to consider the upbringing of digital natives. who see the world differently than the premillennials. This is the key issue moving forward. Thank you so much for viewing this presentation about intellectual property concerns in the digital age.